Hello, I'm Randy Durham with Keller Williams Realty. We're sitting here today and we're going to talk about what is called the short sale process. We're going to go into the reasons to consider a short sale, what is a short sale, and other alternatives that may be out there if you're struggling with your mortgage payments. These economic times of the recent past have really created havoc for several reasons. One, it's created a lot of hardships for homeowners, and it's decreased property values for people that bought during certain areas of time, mainly between the years of 2003 to 2007, and trying to sell today are usually upside down in value until those values seem to stabilize in our area. So let's talk about the short sale. What is it? Why consider it? If you or somebody you know is struggling behind their mortgage payments, then you should listen to this video and we'll go through the ins and outs. Simply put, a short sale is where a bank will agree to take less money than is owed and pay for the expenses of the sale of a property and zero out the mortgage balance. And also in that process, they will not, in most cases, ask you to make up that difference. Before we get into the details and the operating principles of a short sale, let's talk about some of the other options that may be before you if you're behind your payments, have a situation, a hardship situation, and maybe even be facing foreclosure. There are several reasons you want to try to avoid foreclosure. Foreclosures, first off, is one of the hardest hits to your credit score. Could be as many as 300 points. And it stays on there from 5 to 7 years. As compared to considering a short sale, the impact against your credit is you're settling a debt for less than it's owed. It will impact the score. However, generally this type of situation, working out with a short sale, only remains on credit history for 2 years, so it's a much shorter time to try to recover from a credit standpoint and be able to consider buying a house again. Also, foreclosures, things that can happen, and this includes deed in lieu of foreclosure. So that's where deed in lieu of foreclosure is really considered the friendly foreclosure, where you voluntarily sign over your house and foreclose it for them, in essence. Both of these situations, foreclosure, deed in lieu of foreclosure, here's something that could take place if you choose that route. In a foreclosure situation, the bank actually takes control of the property. They own the property. They literally take it back into their inventory, take it away from you, go through the legal process of the foreclosure and make that happen. So this bank, let's give some examples here. Let's say that you owe $100,000. Bank puts it out there for sale. They get $75,000. There's $5,000 worth of expenses, legal expenses they've incurred, and whatever other expenses along the way. So you've got $30,000 difference there from what was sold, what the property actually sold for, and what you actually owed on the property. So there's a $30,000 deficit to the mortgage holder of that. So the mortgage company can file a deficiency judgment, which means they can come after you and attach you, garnish your wages, go through legal processes to get back that $30,000. So it's an avenue they can do, and whereas if you considered it as a short sale, you have an agreed upon amount that they're going to settle out for. Generally there's no money out of your pocket, and they will not come after you for the deficiency. So that's major differences. One thing a short sale is not. It's not for somebody that does not have a hardship, and it's not for somebody that has sufficient assets to cover the deficit that the mortgage company would reduce their payoff to in the event of sale in a hardship situation. You can have a hardship and still have plenty of assets, in other words. So those two combinations are not for short sale situation. What a short sale will do, what we do is we sit down with me, we evaluate your current situation, we look and make sure that you truly have a hardship. We get together a financial statement, which is your bills and your income, and put that together, and assets too as well. And then we show what the value of the property is really going to be. We put together a fairly substantial package, and if you do actually look like you're going to qualify for a short sale, we submit that to the lender. We work on your behalf. We get what is called a letter of authorization, and actually we are able to work on your behalf with the lender. You don't have to do all this negotiation with the lender. We do that for you, and we work out with this lender a situation to where you can get your property sold, and they will allow you to do that. Now, not all lenders will agree to a short sale just right up front. A lot of them want you to put the house up on the market, and then once you do get an offer, they'll tell you whether or not they will consider the short sale. So again, to kind of recap, just to make sure, we get a hardship letter, we get your financial statement, we'll get your assets, what you actually have. We'll show the value of the property, package this up, get it to your mortgage lender, and get a short sale process started. What we're going to go over now is what to expect while you're in the short sale process. And what I mean by that is while you have your home up for sale and we're showing the home and waiting for the buyer to come through and waiting for an offer to be able to submit to that mortgage lender for short sale consideration. You're in a situation is that part of the lender's reason for wanting to do a short sale with you is your cooperation. So your cooperation is imperative. We have to still have the home available to show and in showable condition, which means you treat it like you were trying to sell it on your own, and keeping the house cleaned up, things like that. Again, all this enhancement is all in your best interest to achieve a short sale versus some of the other harsher alternatives, foreclosures, bankruptcies, etc. So what you will expect is that we will be showing the home, calling you to show it. We will be presenting any offers received to you, and those offers come in, and basically we'll look at these offers, and I will guide you to tell you if this is something that we should submit to the bank for consideration. And if it is, we always have a contingency in that offer that it's subject to a third-party approval of the mortgage lender as a short sale. So even though you're signing this offer, you're saying, I am going to make sure my lender says I can do this and take less money than what's owed and proceed with this sale. So that, that will be happening. Okay, so then, we get a contract on your house. Here's what happens. So you go under contract, we submit that to the short sale, to your mortgage lender. We submit the offer to the mortgage lender. And I have people on my staff who are experienced in this. They take care of from the contract to the close as far as getting the lender approval, getting all the necessary documents to the lender that they need. At this time, my staff is going to be contacting you, wanting to update your information, to be updating your financial information, need recent pay stubs, need recent bank statements. You have to cooperate quickly because there's time triggers in here to get this approved and through. So then it's submitted to the lender. They will review it. Sometimes it includes another review with the investors of the mortgage-backed securities. So it can take a little longer in that process, and generally in a reasonable amount of time we get an answer back that the lender will approve the short sale and on what terms and conditions and at what price. And in most instances, again, this comes back is that they will forgive any of the debt and reduce the balance to where it's essentially you're not getting anything out of the property, but they are reducing the debt and not going to file any deficiency judgments against you as for the differences. So this actually goes into pending status. The buyer proceeds just like they would in any other transaction. They continue on with inspections, appraisals, and their mortgage lending process. And then we'll reach a closing, and that's when we'll sign the final agreements with the mortgage lender that they on the short sale process and get this closed out and get you on with your life. Before you do anything, I do want you to call me. Before you consider any other options, I can sit down with you and discuss one-on-one what your situation may be and look at those options and help you try to guide you in the right direction. Short sale may not be the right process, and if I do not feel it is the right process for you, I will tell you that. I am a CDPE, which means I'm a certified distressed property expert. I've taken hours of classroom training for short sales and distressed situations. I know what to do. We have lots of experience of doing many short sale transactions. I have trained staff that deal primarily with the short sale process. So before you do anything, give me a call. Randy Durham at 423-593-2400 or email at randy@randydurham.com.